Depth isn't the problem. Ignorance is. Here is what I mean. Two people take on 50,000 USD in debt. One becomes wealthier, the other becomes trapped. The difference? It's not luck, it's how they think about money. This is TT Capital Clarity. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the fundamental difference between how rich people and poor people view debt and why this one shift in thinking could be completely transform your financial future. Let's dive in. Rich versus poor thinking about debt. Let us start with section 1. The fundamental difference. Poor people see debt as a way to buy things they can't afford. Rich people see debt as a tool to buy things that make them money. Let me break this down. When people with poor mindset get access to credit, what do? They finance a new car. They put a vacation on credit card. They buy the latest phone on a payment plan. Every single one of these purchases loses value the moment the transaction goes through. That car we are talking about, it loses 20% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. That vacation, it's a memory, a great one. Maybe it's a memory, a great one maybe, but it generates $0. That phone, obsolete in 2 years. Now, here is what some people with a wealthy mindset does with debt. They borrow money to start business. They take out a loan to buy rental property. They leverage credit to invest in income generating assets. So, poor mindset is this. Debt makes you poorer every month. The rich mindset is this. Debt makes you richer every month. The key difference? Cash flow direction. If you don't understand this well, you have to start this video in order to listen again. Section 2. Good debt versus bad debt. Not all debt is created equal. Let me make this crystal clear. Bad debt takes money out of your pocket every single month. Car payments, credit card balances for clothes and electronics, personal loans for consumables. These bleed you dry. You are paying interest on things that are either worthless or worthless than what you paid. Are you getting it well? That's what we call bad debt. Good debt puts money into your pocket every month. A mortgage on a rental property where the rent covers the payment plus gives you profit. A business loan that lets you scale operations and increase revenue. Student loans for degrees that dramatically increase your earning potential if used strategically. Let us take an example here. Here is the real example. Let's say you borrow 200,000 USD for rental property at 60% interest. Your monthly payment might be around 1,200 USD. But if you are charging 2,000 USD in rent, you you are cash flowing 80, 100, 800 USD a month after the mortgage payment. Compare that to borrowing 30,000 USD for luxury car at 7% interest. So here you are paying 600 USD a month for something that was 24,000 USD a year later. So you are losing money on both ends. So all you have to think is this one. Rich people ask, will this debt make me money? Other side, poor people ask, can I afford a monthly payment? So do you think and do you see the difference here? So that was about section 2, good debts versus bad debts. Section 3, the leverage game. Here is where it gets really interesting. The wealthy don't just use debt differently, they use it strategically to multiply their returns. This is called leverage. Let's say you have 50,000 USD in cash. You could buy one rental property outright, or you could put 20% down on 5 properties worth 250,000 USD each. With 5 properties, you now control 1.25 million USD in assets with your 50,000 USD. If real estate appreciates just 5% in a year, that's 62,500 USD in equity growth, not the 12,500 USD you would get from one paid off property. But here is the kicker. You are also collecting rent on 5 properties instead of 1. Even if each cash flows just 300 USD per month after expenses, that's 1,500 USD per month, or 80,000 USD per year in passive income. This is how wealthy people think. They are not afraid of debt, they are strategic about it. They use other people's money to build wealth faster than they ever could with cash alone. Now, important caveat. Leverage amplifies everything. It can accelerate wealth, but it can also accelerate losses if you are reckless. The difference is knowledge and risk management. Section 4. The psychological trap. Let me address the elephant in the room. A lot of financial gurus tell you that all debt is bad. Pay off everything, live debt free. And look, understand the appeal. Debt feels scary. It feels like chains. And for people who've only experienced the bad debt, it is chains. But here is what those gurus don't tell you. Being completely debt free might feel safe, but it's also keeping you small. Every major business, every real estate empire, every fortune built in the last century has involved strategic use of debt. Apple, Amazon, Every real estate mogul you admire, they all leverage debt intelligently. The goal isn't to avoid debt, the goal is to master it. The rich use debt to get richer. The poor use debt to look rich. That's the trap. That's the trap. When you borrow money to maintain appearances, the nice car, the designer clothes, the fancy dinners, you are playing a game you can't win. You are trying to look wealthy while getting poor. Real wealth is built in silence. It's the rental properties not one sees. It's the rental properties no one sees. The business investments that don't show up on Instagram. The assets that generate income while you sleep. Section 5. How to shift your thinking. So, how do you make this shift? How do you start thinking about debts like what to do? First, educate yourself financially. Read books, take courses, understand cash flow, interest rates, return on investment, and other things like those. You can't use a tool effectively if you don't understand how it works. Second, run the numbers on everything. Before taking on any debt, calculate the true cost and the expected return. If it's not making you money, it's costing you money. Period. Third, build an emergency fund first. Strategic debt works best when you have a safety net. You need 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash before you start leveraging debt for investment. Fourth, start small and learn. You don't need to buy 5 properties on a day one. Buy one. Learn the process. Make mistakes on a small scale before you scale up. Here is the most important one. Change question you ask yourself. Stop asking, can I afford the payment? Start asking, will this make me money? Will this make me money? That one shift in thinking will transform everything about financial decision to make. Let's bring this home. Debt is a tool. Like any tool can build or it can destroy. A hammer can build a house or smash a window. The tool isn't good or bad, it's how you use it. Poor people use debt to consume. Rich people use debt to create. Poor people borrow for depreciating assets. Rich people borrow for appreciating assets. Poor people are controlled by debt. Rich people control debt. The difference isn't intelligence. It's not luck. It's education and mindset. Here is my challenge to you. Next time you consider taking on debt, pause. Ask yourself if this debt will make you richer or poorer in 5 years. If the answer is richer and you've done your homework, consider it. If the answer is poor, walk away. If this video changed how we think about money, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like challenges, conventional thinking about wealth. Drop a comment below. What's one debt you are glad you took on, or one you wish you hadn't? This is DT Capital Clarity. I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Keep being blessed.